All right, Tuesday night, man. Good to see you guys all rolling in. Modesto, California. Street level, that's right, John. We're street level tonight. Nebraska in the house. All our Chopper Town family here, Cycle Source Magazine crew coming on with us strong. I saw Australia. That's awesome. Doc Harper, great to see you here, man. Going to be a great show tonight. We're just about 2 minutes away from going live with Coast to Coast. Stick around, Coast to Coast in 2 minutes. Riverside, California, New Jersey. So good, so good. So good to start off the week like this with such a great show. Fantastic guests lined up. It's going to be awesome. Just about a minute away. Indiana coming in. Bill Reed fired up. You know, Bill, we're just about there, so we're going to go ahead and get this one out of the stable and out into the field, right? You know how you say that one? Let's go. Coast to Coast Live. Here we go.
We didn't get a hurricane. We all got ready, and then it just kind of went by us, which was awesome. I didn't know if I'd be able to do the show if we had a hurricane, but we didn't get it. Anyway, before we have a great show lined up for you tonight. Last week was so much fun, but let me bring out our co-host, Michael Lichter from Boulder, Colorado. Come on in here.
I'm here in Boulder, Colorado. In beautiful Boulder, Colorado.
It is beautiful there, definitely. So that was a fun show last week, huh?
I thought it was great. Loved it.
Yeah, the builders on it. I got a bug in my office. Jesus. Anyway, yeah, it was fun having the builders on. Really interesting show. I had a lot of people tell me how much they loved it. Tonight's really going to be fun. Got 2014 Cannonball riders, Dottie, Mattern, and my good friend Sharon Jacobs, who I rode the Cannonball with in 2014 and a little bit of 2016. But not sure what else to say about the Cannonball. There were 4 women we had riders that year. It was Sharon and I, Dottie, and this wonderful lady from Italy, Claudia. And we did pretty well. I think we'll talk about it more when I bring Sharon in, how she beat my ass by 1 mile or 3 miles or something like that. But let's bring Dottie in, and we can start talking to Dottie about her adventures. How about that? There she is. Hey, Dottie.
Hi, Dottie.
How are you? Can we hear you? You're not muted, are you?
No, I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Oh, yeah, awesome. Well, I wanted to say thank you for agreeing to come on the show. I haven't seen you in a while. You know, we've been all doing our own thing, and I know you're busy playing tennis 4 days a week, you told me, and doing all kinds of cool stuff. But I wanted to ask you about, tell us about a little bit about how you started riding motorcycles? And are you there? I think she's there.
Oh, gracious. When I started, that was so long ago. I actually was in college and dating a guy, and he wanted to take me home to meet his parents. And when we got to his house in the hills of Western Pennsylvania, there was a motorcycle in the garage. And he had never mentioned that he rode a motorcycle. And so I said, you want to take me for a ride? So we did. We came back from that, and I said, will you teach me how to drive that? And he said, sure. And so for the next couple of days, he rode on the back of me. And I learned that love of riding that has been with me ever since. I didn't get my first bike, though, until I graduated from college and could buy it. But then I've had one ever since.
Yeah, but
At least one.
You're leaving something out. What happened to the guy that was on the back of the bike? Did you leave him in the dust, or what happened?
No. He actually taught me a number of things. I mean, they do strange things in Hermione, Pennsylvania. Like they go out to the dump and shoot rats. And I mean, anyway, no, we kind of parted our separate ways and each married somebody else.
Well, there you go.
That's okay. You got the bike. You got the bug for the bike, right?
That's right. And I'm forever indebted to him for that. Then you were a school teacher for what, 27 years? I think you told me you taught school. Yeah, a long time.
Wow.
But while I was doing that, I was also moonlighting as a program coordinator for the YMCA. And I had a really good executive director that when we purchased 12 acres of property, the YMCA purchased 12 acres of property, he wanted to do a day camp. And I said, well, why don't we do something different and not have kids ride horses? Why don't we have an instructional mini bike program?
Nice.
And
awesome.
Bless his heart, he got it through his executive committee. I hired a couple of friends, and we had an instructional mini bike program, which then grew. This was in Maryland, which then grew into District 7's first national mini bike match for kids. So
wow, that's awesome. And then you got into some kind of vintage bike stuff, right? After that?
yeah, that wasn't until came back. I was in Germany for a couple of years and came back from there and went to somebody said, oh, there's a bunch of old bikes, and it's really cool. And they ride them and blah, blah, blah. And I said, sure, I'll go. And that was in Fort Mott, New Jersey. So I went to that, and one of the gentlemen there, Lou Likva, who had a 1923 Ace, put me in his sidecar and rode me around. And then I said, could you teach me how to drive this? And he did. And after that, I thought this is really the fun way to go around on an antique bike.
What year was that when you were in the 1923 Ace?
This was 1979.
79.
Fort Mott, New
I
Jersey.
can't help but think sometimes to my early days of riding, and you think back and you're on an old bike. So that 23 was really 50, I'm sorry, you said 79, was it?
79.
79. So that was about, checking my math here, 56 years old maybe, right? So that would be like riding a shovelhead now, right?
Yeah.
Incredible. I mean, at that time, it wasn't all that old.
Yeah, now we are.
Cool. So what about racing? I mean, how did that come in? Where does that come into play into the picture?
Well,
Because I think we could bring up our first photo here because it ties it all together.
I met a guy in North Carolina that had some old motorcycles. He had a 37 Scout. And he came up with, and it was his idea to come up with an all-women's motorcycle racing team.
Awesome.
And so there were three of us, And we all pitched in to buy some 1970. We decided on 1972 the Honda 360s because they were easy to work with and pretty reliable. And you like the oil pan on the bottom of that motorcycle. It was a cake pan. Anyway,
I was wondering about that. It looks like it'd keep you from leaning too much.
Well, yeah, if you were scraping the pan, you knew you were leaning just right. And I think that picture was in Savannah, but we rode Savannah and we rode Barber and we did Talladega and Daytona. I mean, that was a fun part. We did that for about 3 years. And one of the gals had an old Volkswagen bus, and we traveled, the 3 gals traveled and slept in that. I mean, it was a real throwback.
Wow.
Awesome.
And then somehow, I guess you were racing on an Indian in this next photo.
Oh yeah, tell us about this one.
The guy that came up with the idea for the team had this 36 Scout, and they were running the Maxton Mile at that time, land speed records, and he was, let's say, carried about 50 more pounds than I do. And so he was thinking that a lighter rider might make his bike go faster. So that's how come I got the ride on that Indian. And you notice the bike that I'm on the line with. I mean, that was a very interesting experience there. But I did set for my class bike, it was 91 point something miles per hour, which when you're going down, the Maxton Mile was on an old airport road. And so it was not exactly smooth. And you're going down and you've got your handlebar and you're trying to shift as fast as you can. And it was thrilling, to say the least.
Yeah, holding on with one hand on a bumpy road, huh? Ooh.
Yeah.
Well, who won that
holding
race?
on with your knees too.
Well, what do you mean? Dottie probably won, right? Didn't you win?
That was a pretty mean-looking bike you were up against. Did you take him or not?
Well, fortunately, we were being timed individually, so I really wasn't competing against him. I was competing against myself.
Well, we can say you beat him. Okay.
Yeah.
Sounds good.
It's quite the match. So then somehow you go from racing this old Indian, and then in this next photo, we see you with another Indian, a flathead, and I'm guessing this is your bike. Can you tell us about it?
Yeah.
Yeah, this was Scott's bike, the same guy the same bike that I rode for the Maxton Mile. It was after I came back from Fort Mott that I really wanted to get into vintage riding just for fun. Not racing, and went through a series. The Indian Scout was my favorite bike. I had a Junior Scout for a while, but I had a 101, but never had a Harley, but always preferred Indian.
Well, you'll make a lot of my friends happy to hear that. Well, the Indian guys that watch our show, friends of ours.
Well, they ride them,
Sure. Hey, it's all what's around there, I mean, I just started on Harley because that's what there was. If it was an Indian, I would have been riding an Indian,
Sure.
What year did you start riding an Indian on the street?
Probably 81. Took me 2 years.
I mean, that was pretty early there weren't all that many women riding back then. I mean, Cris had already had her magazine running no, actually you hadn't even started it then. That was pretty early.
85, yeah.
Yeah, so I mean, there's still a time when, at least me working with Easy Riders magazine, a lot of guys didn't like the idea of women riding their own bikes. They thought they belonged on back. So how did they treat you when you're out?
I
rode part of I joined the Antique Motorcycle Club of America at that meet in Fort Mott. And granted, that was pretty much a male-dominated organization, but one of the gentlemen who was going to be the next president asked me if I would consider being on the board. He was a fellow school teacher also, and so I was elected to the board and immediately became immediately became the national secretary for the next 15 years.
Wow.
So went to all the national meets, went on the road rides, had a lot of, not many women, but a lot of riders camaraderie.
Can we maybe fast forward a little bit? Like this next photo, I think is our
Yeah.
first Cannonball photo. So
Oh,
maybe you
yeah,
could bring us
sure.
up, like how did you get involved with the Cannonball? Where did that all come from?
Yeah, how did you ever hear? I never asked you that before.
Well, when I retired from being national secretary of the Antique Motorcycle Club, I was then asked to be on the Heritage Foundation. And the Heritage Foundation, the Antique Motorcycle Heritage Foundation, was meeting in New York in early September, have our annual meeting at the museum there. And that happened to be the start of the Cannonball. And as I walked around through that parking lot and talked to the people that I knew and admired the people that I didn't know, I thought, that's really cool. Someday maybe I'll put that on my bucket list and be able to do that kind of thing. Pardon me.
We shouldn't have this much fun.
Sorry, I heard somebody was cheering.
Sorry.
Somebody just must have got a goal or something.
And then on the board, we were looking for ways to fundraise for the Heritage Foundation for the different things that they were doing. And at one meeting, we kicked around and I said, well, heck, I'd ride the Cannonball and maybe we could get people to sponsor. And then one thing led to another, and somebody brought up the fact that I was a colon cancer survivor. And I said, well, I'd really like to do something to raise money for the colon cancer research. And so we decided to combine the two things. And whenever I talked to the National Colon Cancer Alliance, and they were excited about it, unusual that someone would want to do such a thing, I guess. But that's how I found out about it. I saw the start of it and was very much, it doesn't take much to get me excited about doing something.
Wow.
Well, it was great when you, I think you contacted me and we had lots of questions for me about the Cannonball, and we talked a few times, and you bought my book, and
That's
I know how
right.
excited you were when you got there in 2014. Where were we? Daytona Beach, Florida. Yep, I remember that one. And I think you started out riding with a guy named, well, I think you were by yourself. You didn't even have a crew, did you, Dottie? I can't remember.
Let's bring the next photo
I
on.
didn't have a
Brings us
crew.
to the Cannonball.
I
Yeah.
was supposed to have a crew, but
Mhm.
he had some business issues that prevented him from going along. So I decided a good friend of mine was willing to drive my van, and he is a motorcyclist but knows nothing about old motorcycles. And but he was willing to drive the van, and so I thought, I'm going. Nothing's going to stop me on that. So we did. And then I had a really good friend that flew out to Seattle, and we flew my driver home, and she and I took a road trip back with the Indian in the back of the van.
Right. You did a lot of your riding with, see, this is about the Cannonball that I love. You didn't know anybody. You show up there, you meet people, hey, Dottie, hey, nice to meet you. And you met a guy named Ron, right?
Yeah, Ron Roberts.
Ron Roberts is a sweetheart of a man, and you guys ended up just riding together, right? Tell us about Ron.
Yeah, Ron and Steve DaCosta and I met that first night in the parking lot, and they were going to give us a trial run sheet, and we thought, well, let's do it together. And Steve had, I think, a 27 JD, and Ron was on a big Chief, and I had the little Scout, and so we just rode that next day, and we kind of, our riding styles were similar, and it worked well for us. So we decided we rode a number of days together And then some days just Ron and I. But yeah, the camaraderie at the Cannonball is exceptional.
You know, I have a few photos of you riding, and it seems rare.
Yeah.
We could bring those on now because it seems rare that I caught you by yourself. Several like this, because
Yeah.
you usually were with other people. But how much of the time were you by yourself? That being said,
I really don't know. Not a whole lot. Part of that one day, when we had all the rain, the second full day, I rode some of that by myself because Ron had decided not to ride. And then one day I got lost. I got on the interstate the wrong way, and Ron wisely did not follow me, but waited for me to go down to the next exit and turn around and come back, which I didn't do because I decided I would figure out a more interesting route than getting back on the interstate. So we didn't ride together that day.
Do you remember
to
that
my-
day? And I think it was it Utah when the road went to mud? It was road construction. We
Oh,
went
yeah.
through this like off-roading mud. I think you and Sharon
oh my goodness,
and
that's
I were
terrible.
probably together that day, Dottie. I remember going. We had that really bumpy road for about 10 miles, and then all of a sudden
Yeah.
it turned into nothing. Remember that?
Yes, I do, for sure. And I was glad I'd had some dirt riding experience riding that road, lighten the front wheel and gas it.
Yeah, I mean, we were like, I remember Sharon and I going through that. We're like, you can't go too slow because if you go too slow, you're going to get stuck. We just had to
Yeah.
barrel through it.
It was nice. In this next photo at the gas station, it seems again you're often with Ron. It seems like it was a great thing to be able to have a partner to ride with, to stop at gas stops with, to maybe help you check over the bike. I mean, not that you aren't totally capable yourself, but I imagine you were a help to Ron as well, looking over his things. How did that work out?
He was awesome. And particularly about day 8, when we were at a gas station. It was that real foggy morning, dense fog, and a bunch of us had stopped at a gas station. And I was just sitting on my bike. I had fueled it. I was sitting, and I turned to look at him to see if he was ready to go, and my foot slipped on the wet pavement.
Ooh.
And I went over, and the motorcycle had me pinned, and of course it was roaring. And people immediately came and got the bike off me. But after that, I could not kick my motorcycle to start it.
Wow.
It was my right foot, and I found out later I'd broken 3 bones in it. So,
And you kept riding, huh?
oh yeah, we just put it in the boot and yeah.
Of course she kept riding, Mike. What was she going to do?
I
Yeah,
know.
right, she kept riding.
Well, let's bring
As
some of
long
these
as he
riding
could
shots
start
out
it, I
because
could ride it. So
this next set of photos shows you. It seemed like, I don't know how it was, but it seemed usually you rode together and you were running first and he was in the back. Is that correct?
yeah, he liked the way I read the maps.
There you go.
Cool.
He kicked the
navigator.
bike and I followed directions.
That's great. Well, it's nice to see you riding there together. It's very cool. I could count on that when I came across you. But,
Well,
and then,
one of my favorite pictures is the picture you took when we're butting knuckles. We're riding side by side.
I'm sorry, can you repeat that? I lost you there for a second.
Yeah, we missed
One
you.
of the pictures you took that's my favorite was when Ron and I were up riding side by side and we were giving each other knuckles,
Oh, cool.
Oh, yeah.
a knuckle sandwich.
Well, this next photo is a big part of the Cannonball, and that's we have to stop and eat now and again, right? But not that we eat any gourmet food, but there we are. What was that like? How'd you nourish
I think
yourself?
we were
all those
frozen.
days?
That was a really cold day and we were trying desperately to get warm. Yeah, I don't know where we stopped, but it was
Yep.
cold.
All the memories flowed together after that one because you're like, where
Yeah.
were we? I don't know, but I know I was cold and I was hungry, right?
Who were you
And then-
riding next to in this next shot as you came in? I'm not sure where this was. Do you remember which town this was, Dottie?
Um,
Kind of blurs
yeah,
together.
the
doesn't it?
town that
G. Gerard.
stop, has a French name.
Yeah, it's like Saint Gerard or something.
Saint, yeah, that had the, that
Gerardo.
they had the whole
Gerardo.
town cordoned off for us. I mean, it was the most
Oh.
royal welcome you can imagine.
That was
Yeah.
incredible. That was a great stop there.
We've been through that town, I think, on 2 cannonballs now, and they're always so nice. It's just a beautiful spot right on the river. Food was
Yeah.
good. I remember the food.
It's like a parade when you go through there, isn't it?
Oh yeah,
It
they had a
was.
parade
Yeah,
for us.
you
I think,
really
too.
felt like you were, something special.
Well, you are something special. Let me tell you. I just admired riding with you, and I loved getting to know you a little bit on the Cannonball. And at the end, I know there's another picture of you riding here, and you always look so happy when you're riding. You're always just real steady, real steady. I like that about you.
And you should know a couple of people are chiming in, like Karen Moore wrote in from Kansas. She said, Dottie, you're a very awesome woman, a strong woman, and a great inspiration. And as well, Rebecca Cunningham said, Dottie is such an inspiration. And people sending greetings, Russ Journey from Kearney, Nebraska, Ann Farrar from New Jersey, Brian Pelletier from Massachusetts, and Joe Valley, your brother.
All right.
There you go. And they had some others from further away. Mike Podger from Prince Edward Island, too. Very
Wow,
cool.
nice.
So a lot of people sending their greetings.
So we ended up getting. What's your favorite memory near the end of the Cannonball? Do you remember going through the mountains, going
Oh,
through
my
Mount
goodness,
Rainier?
yeah.
That was so beautiful, wasn't it?
It was fantastic. I loved every day. I mean,
Mhm.
even the days when we had the pouring rain or the heavy fog, or it was every morning I got up and I said, yeah, I'm going to do this today. And every evening I said, yeah, this was great. We had fun.
That brings us to the next photo then. So it's so great every day, but then all of a sudden it was over. Did you kind of wish it hadn't ended, or were you ready for it?
Oh no, I could have ridden a bit longer.
Oh man! Oh, there it is. 3 of us at the end. Yeah.
Yeah, nice shot.
Awesome. That was a wonderful day. That was fun. And the Seattle Cossacks
And the
were there and
Cossacks,
did the show
yeah.
for us. And remember that? That was
In
awesome.
Tacoma. Yeah, that was beautiful. At the museum.
Have you been doing any riding anymore at all, Dottie? What have you been up to?
Some, but I sold my little Scout.
Aw.
And that was kind of a sad day, but we had some other needs for the money, and so I found a good home for it. A gentleman in Kansas has it, and I sent him a number of things from the Cannonball so that because he liked the history of it, the fact that bike had ridden the Cannonball. And I just have 2 motorcycles now. They're just little Hondas, a Transalp, 650 Transalp, and a little 250 Canyon Chaser. Which
Okay,
is
wait a
also-
minute. Did you not just win something? Win a motorcycle? Did I hear that right the other day?
No.
Did you win? You won a
Unless I-
raffle for the AMA?
Did I?
I thought that was you.
No, I don't think so.
Uh-oh,
At
maybe
least they
you're
haven't
spilling the beans.
contacted
Maybe
me
he
yet.
doesn't know.
Oh, I thought it was you. I was going to ask you about it. Oh, I thought it was you. Somebody else I know
Surprise.
then won that. Yeah, they won a little BMW with a sidecar. Oh, well, I thought
Oh,
it was you, but
really?
I know you're busy playing tennis. What, 4 days a week? You told me.
Yeah,
Something like that.
yeah, I'm playing.
That's incredible.
It's wonderful. Well,
Before we wrap up, I have to say Rob Nussman has chimed in a few times. He wants to be sure that we said hello to you from him.
yeah.
Apparently, he says he goes back to Fort Mott when you met. He believes that's where you met some years ago.
Huh.
Oh,
Okay. That was a long time ago.
wow. That's awesome.
Well,
Rob loves you. I know he told me, oh, well, you're going to have Dottie on. That's great. Well, it
Very
was
cool.
wonderful, wonderful getting to know you, Dottie. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you. Enjoyed
We'll
it.
see you again sometime. Definitely.
Sounds
We
like
good.
it's been a great lifetime of riding.
It
I would
has
say.
been an important part of my life in
That's
many
incredible.
ways.
Wonderful.
Well, you keeping on, and we'll see you down the road. Okay. We're gonna take a
Okay.
break, you guys. We're gonna do a commercial break. Check out our sponsors, and when we come back, we're gonna bring our friend Sharon Jacobson. See you in a few minutes.
Jacobs.
Hey, I'm Chris with Source Media Group, and we're in the studio getting ready for what is probably the biggest project we've ever worked on, Sturgis Live, 80 years in a day. And you know, when I think back, 22 years ago, we started Cycle Source magazine in a room that was not much bigger than this. A lot of things have changed since then, the style of bikes, the way people dress, the way they talk. One thing remains the same, their love affair with the motorcycle. At Source Media, we get that, and we're coming up with new ways to bring you more motorcycle content all the time. We understand that your motorcycle media consumption habits have changed, and we're changing right with them. Hey, where do you get your motorcycle media?
On the big screen TV in my living room.
Exactly. That's why this new platform with Fight TV is really exciting. Now more than ever, you can get on your Roku, your Amazon, or your Apple TV and see what's going on in the world of motorcycles. For us, that means more programs like Grease and Gears Garage, Grease and Gears TV, Roadshow, and now Sturgis Live. We're about to hit the record button on the 80th anniversary of Sturgis, the most epic motorcycle rally in history. Not just that, this is the tale of the enduring pioneer spirit of people who leave everything behind them to look for a little bit more out of life. August 19th, 7 p.m., go to Fight TV, go to cyclesource.com, get your buddies together, host a garage party. You don't want to miss this. We're going live with 180 minutes of everything that happens in Sturgis this year. The parties, the bike shows, the bands, everything that we can capture, we're bringing to you. Don't miss it. Sturgis Live, 80 years in a day.
I think we're back. Hey, we are back. So, you know, if you guys like the show, hit the share button, like our page, you know, do kind of stuff like that. Mike, you know, we were going to talk about the hurricane. Yeah, I guess you weren't here and we talked about it a little bit. I didn't bring you in time, but.
Well, you obviously were real nervous about that because
Oh
I
my
saw plywood
God.
going up on the house and a lot of nerves on the edge. But in the end, there was a beautiful sunset, wasn't there?
Oh my God, it was such a weird day. I mean, we kept watching this thing and somebody just put up a video. You can watch the whole thing like a time lapse and it just skirted all the islands, the chain of islands. And then it just left. We had the most beautiful sunset. It was like purple and blue and craziest sunset I've ever seen here. But anyway, you know, we boarded up our windows. We got water. I mean, I'm good. We got food. We don't have to go anywhere now. I'm like, okay, we're ready. You know, not that we wanted to come back.
You got food for the next month, right?
Yeah, right. I'm a hoarder anyway. Anyway, don't tell my husband. I got lots of toilet paper. Anyway, this next guest is such a wonderful friend in person. I just love her, and she just has the brightest smile, and she's just such a cool person. And we rode together a lot in 2014. I want to bring on Sharon Jacobs. Come on in. Hey, there you are. Hi, how are you?
I'm just jamming to the music.
We were too.
Yeah.
I like that
I didn't get to
music.
see you though.
Hey,
Hi,
it's great
guys.
to see you. I know you're out in Deadwood.
I
I'm kind
am.
of jealous. I mean, I like Hawaii, but Deadwood's pretty awesome.
Yeah,
Especially
it
their
is.
place in Deadwood.
Yeah.
That is one
Both.
beautiful place you got there in Deadwood.
Yes.
And
I
it's
agree.
growing, right? Now, not only is it your place, but there's a restaurant and a brew pub and
Oh my gosh,
place to
gallery.
buy food.
Yes. Yes.
All
We're gonna have
done.
to name it Jacob's Wood.
Yeah.
Come on, see you
Yeah, I'm
guys.
gonna leave that one alone. But yes, someone you know might agree.
Oh, wow, look at that. We got your place up there. I
Wow,
can't wait to
look at
come.
Yeah.
Your food
Yeah.
sounds good. I want to come. We're
Oh,
gonna
it's
try it sometime.
awesome. I know Food Network was there today.
Oh,
So
great.
it's kind of exciting.
let's-
We're doing a little I guess it's a contest. I honestly I hate to say I don't know much about it, but they're critiquing different meat beef dishes in the area, and they
cool.
seem to have loved mine. So yeah, Justin Warner from Food Network was there, and he interviewed my chef, and it was exciting. I don't know.
Nice.
Yeah.
What a great
Nice.
boost to a new restaurant as well, right?
Oh my God, it's insane. It's we have been slammed. I'm sorry. I'm exhausted because I literally work probably 16 hours a day,
Oh my
every
gosh.
day. So to answer your question about riding, no, I don't even know where
Yeah.
my bike is. And by that, I'm kidding. But I know
Yeah,
where they all
but we-
are.
But we've done a lot of riding together anyway, and your family is beautiful. And I love this. We have a great picture of your family. The first picture here is just one of my favorites. I think Michael must have taken that one. But I
Let's
want
see.
to talk to you about when
Oh,
you
we
started
did.
riding. And how did you start riding? I never really asked you that before.
It's kind of funny, actually. I was obviously younger, and my daughters and my Amazon daughters here were just little babies, and they, they consume, as you know, a lot of your time and mental and every other way. And Scott would paint, and he would sometimes just stop painting and jump on his bike and go for a ride. And he used to say that it cleared his cobwebs. And I used to envy that because I'm like, well, I have cobwebs. But so he bought me a bike, and I started riding. I would ride on the back with him, and it was a lot of fun. And that was like over 25 years ago.
Wow. And if people don't
Charlie's
know
yelling at
Scott
me.
Jacobs is a wonderful artist, paints beautiful motorcycle scenery. He's a licensed Harley artist. He
Yep.
does other kinds of art too, but you have a great gallery. And anyway, that's how I kind of met you guys. I think maybe through Scott. But I know the
Yeah.
girls ride too, which is really cool. And you guys rode along. I think Pat, I don't know if I asked Pat rode with you guys
Nope.
too. But I
He
don't know
was-
how Scott ever heard about the Cannonball, but I know you guys rode along in 2012. You and the
Right.
girls rode along on your newer bikes.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah. Well, he found out. That's when he was. Do you see Charlie in the back?
I do. I love that dog.
Oh my
Yes.
goodness.
He's rearranging the pillows now. Thank you, honey. Yeah. Okay. Never a dull moment. Anyway, no, he heard about the Cannonball. I think it was through Pat, and then went to shoot you riding and all the bikes, and that's when he painted Effie. And then it just looked like so much fun. So he decided he wanted to do it. That was in 10. Then he wanted to do it in 12. So I decided that I would go with him. And I rode my 2010 48 Sportster. They only made it for 2 years, but that bike was so much fun to ride. I remember the guys looking at me going, "You're going to ride that cross country?" And I looked at them and said, "You're going to ride that cross country?" And it was so much fun. And then when some of the riders got a little upset because they thought I was helping, I'm like, why would you want
weren't
me
even
to
near
help
him.
you?
Yeah, you guys.
Oh God,
to
no.
tell everybody, the backstory. Sharon and the girls rode along on their own bikes. They kind of rode behind everybody or ahead of everybody. They never were on the route with the bikes or anything. But you guys had your own little side trips that you did, and it was really fun. You check in the evening with us. But I think we have pictures of you with the girls, but this is at the start of the 2014. And then you decided in 2014, tell us how you decided to do it. I was thrilled.
Well, it was after being in 12 and everybody I remember Scott saying to me, so what do you think? Do you want to do it next time? And I was like, oh, absolutely. I mean, I had a lot of fun because before the girls joined me in Sturgis and we rode this last half together, I would don my neon pink rain suit and I would ride at the back of the pack because on the few legs where you had to be on the freeway, you know, when you're going 45 miles an hour in the rain, you know, cars come up on you very quickly. And in my little neon pink, I think I was a good beacon of don't hit the people in front of me. So, but that's when we decided, and then we started looking for a bike. I know that Pat was always sending us all the links to different bikes that we could possibly get. And we ended up with a 36 VLH Frankie, and I lost half my ear. And it was just so awesome. It was probably one of the best things I've ever done in my life, and meeting people. And, you know, I had a lot of personal things going on in that race. And it was just an amazing bonding experience. One I'll never forget.
I love those his and her bikes and the his and her pictures at the start. What was that like for you? I know that a lot of people didn't appreciate my insistence on getting a panorama shot of everybody on the sand. So I know
I hated the sand. That scared the hell out of me.
Over.
Oh my God.
We got some great shots though, right?
Yes. And I was happy to walk my bike off the sand because like Chris was talking about with Dottie, oh my God, I forgot about the mud. Oh, I remember being on that and Pat was in front of me and we're just fishtailing and I was cracking up because I think when I think I'm going to die, I just start laughing.
You did great.
Yeah, it was awesome. God, it was such an experience.
So that's a good thing to know. I've never known that because you're always smiling. And now you're giving us the little inside information that, when I'm really laughing uncontrollably, I think I'm about to die. Right?
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, that's the truth. Scott picked me up in Sturgis once when we had our booth. And this is years ago. And I was I'm a very safe rider in even my equipment. I always wear gloves and a helmet. And that's just how I am. And he picked me up in Sturgis because there was talk of maybe a couple groups of bikers coming together in Sturgis and he didn't want me there. And they were going to pick me up when they were coming back from Rapid to come back to Spearfish. And it's on the way. So all of a sudden he shows up. I have on a spaghetti strap, cami and a skirt and flip-flops. And he wants me to get on the back of the bike. And I'm like, what? So I did, and we came into a jellyfish cloud. That's the only way I can describe it. And the tendrils hanging down from this cloud, I literally thought they were going to wrap themselves around me and pull me up, and I was going to die. And I just put my head up to the sky and let the rain hit me in the face and cracked up because I'm like, if I'm going out laughing.
That's great.
We did have fun on the road, Sharon. I just remember you in that pink rain suit, dude. And I had the orange one, remember?
Yes. Yep. We were definitely good. All of the girls, and it wasn't for any other reason but our damn pink rain suits.
Yeah. Well, you may have had those bright colors and kind of wacky looking, but for the most part, I think you were very styling. Look at these next pictures here, riding along with Scott, and even at the start in your T-shirt. But here it looks like you're already in the groove.
Yeah.
Once you got on the pavement there, and maybe had a couple days under you. I think that was.
Oh yeah, it was awesome.
This was actually 5 days in.
Day one is when.
This was.
Oh okay.
Yeah,
so that's when I got back up and running.
Yeah. So how did you feel here after a number of days? I'll bet a lot more confident.
Oh, you know what? The bike. Those are awesome pictures. I don't know if I've seen those. Sorry. I have no complaints. I mean, day one, I had an immediate issue with a piston. And that was a result of, something not being swapped out, unfortunately. So we put in my 70s and my 80 bore. So day two consisted of running out of gas every 30 miles. And that was interesting, but I made it to the finish line on day two, and that was amazing. And then day three, my pistons went again. So that's when we ended up stripping them out of another bike and overnighting them. That was on a Sunday, and they came in on Tuesday. And then I had the 12 perfect days. So Chris, I don't know how I beat you by like 1 mile.
No, it was hey,
I think
it was
you had the
3.
first
It
2
was
days,
3.
right?
I looked today.
Was
You
it?
beat me
Oh,
by
was
3
it?
miles. Well, because I was broke down day 1 too, remember? And I blew
That's
a head
right.
gasket in the parking lot.
I think
before
you
we
broke
even
down
left.
sooner.
The day
Yep,
before we
that's
left.
right.
So I broke down, I think,
Yeah.
before you. And then we had a few days
Yep.
where we were like, yay, we both made it.
I know. Yeah. And then we had that awesome finish. Oh God, the crossing that finish line though. That was so emotional. I keep that picture actually on my computer screen. Because Dave, Michael he was right there at the end. And I don't think you guys have this. And I put my hand in the air, because a lot of people know, but I lost my brother on day 3. The same day my bike decided it was probably not a good time for me to ride. And I was putting my hand in the air as I crossed the finish line in Tacoma, crying my eyes out and telling my brother that we did it. And Dave stepped into the row to give me a high five. And I don't know, it was very, very emotional and meant a lot. So
I think this next photo may have been taken actually on day 3. I don't know where it was. This was just at a stop.
Oh yeah, that's when.
But
They
then
all coming into Chattanooga, maybe, huh? I think that was.
Yep.
I think
Gary,
you're right.
my wonderful guardian angel, he came and I was on the side of the road because my bike had died down and I was bawling like a baby, not because of my bike. And he gave me a hug and he drove off. And then about 3 minutes later, I see a bike coming back in that direction. And he literally said, I can't leave you here alone, not today. And so even though it was very difficult for a human and a bike to be put on his bike, you know, in the little trailer that he made, he brought us back in. And right there, I was like, well, I'm going to jump on the back of this bike because I'm at least going to sit on my bike when you cross the finish line for day 3. And it was just crazy. Yeah.
I didn't know that I didn't know the backstory.
Yeah, we love Gary. He likes Sharon anyway. But, you know, Gary's just like we called him our sidecar dudes. You know, they had the platforms on the sidecar. And he's a great, you know, again, Cannonball family. You know, he's never going to leave you on the side of the road, Sharon.
No.
Never. Yeah.
He shouldn't have taken me. I mean, really. Because I was just overweight.
Picture your hands up in the air. In
I don't
these
know
next
what that
couple of
is.
photos, it seems a lot of times when I came across you, that was the case. Was it anything in particular? Or are you just waving at me, or are you saying, hey, this is really cool out here?
Oh, probably. Hey, this is really cool out here. Yep, that's me waving. Hey.
That's you saying, this is really
just
cool out
waved to
here.
everybody going by. It's a happy place to be. I mean,
There you
it's
go.
just.
And another one. Hey.
Yeah,
look at
right.
this.
What is
Cool.
up with that? Wait, hey.
Hey, what could be worse? Your bike is running. You're out there on the road, you know, having fun with your friends.
You know, I think in that last shot, we just got out of the fog as well, didn't we?
Yes. Remember that?
Yeah, that was quite
crazy.
the fog.
Oh, remember in the cold that day. Oh, remember, Chris, we were riding just like we could see the sun ahead of us. And we're like, God, just let me get to the sun. Please just let me get to the sun.
We went through all these weird canyons. I don't know where it was, in Utah or somewhere. And Mike, we were in the gas station and you were in there. Everybody was so cold. We hovered around the hot dog thing. If someone put their fingers in the hot dog.
That was in Washington or Oregon. And I have a picture of everybody's hands in the hot dog warmer.
Yep. They were like underneath. We had them under the coffee makers and everything. Sure. I remember that.
Not like in this next photo. It was beautiful. I think this was wasn't this the Kansas-Colorado border, maybe? Wasn't there a museum we stopped at, possibly?
Oh, I remember that.
Yeah.
I think that's what it was.
Look at that short hair.
Yeah.
You look good there. I like that.
She's smiling.
I felt like a little boy. You're still smiling. Yeah.
Smiling again.
It is funny, though. I had to get that color lipstick because I don't usually wear colored lipstick, but I was so afraid people would think I was a little boy if I didn't have my lipstick on. I guess I could just cross off the boobs, but whatever.
So I guess a lot of times you rode with a group, but I know in this next set of photos, you're by yourself. So how much time were you by yourself? It didn't seem like a lot to me, but maybe you could clarify that. And what was that like also, being out there on this old bike by yourself?
You know, it was fine. there's something to be said about solitude, right? And you just get to clear your little brain. That's day one because of the shirt. That's probably before my pistons started overheating already. And no, there's another one I don't know. Yeah, it was just awesome. I never really had any problems riding alone. Scott was doing well, so if my bike was acting up, he went on ahead, and I was fine with that. I took care of what I could take care of, and Big Swede was hanging out with me, and he was also on a 36. So every once in a while, if I ran into him at the gas station, I would basically just mimic anything he did. And, I learned a lot, and it was awesome.
You guys were riding with Team Vino in 2014.
That's right.
You're part of Team Vino with Dean Borgioni and Big Swede. Yep. Great team.
Great team.
Yeah.
What a great team.
Absolutely. Yeah.
But we joined you too, Pat. And I started riding with you because we liked your team so much. We just kind of
that's right.
Is that just
exactly.
one?
Yeah. Yeah. No, that was fun. I know it was pretty much the six of us almost every day, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was really fun. Really fun time.
Yeah.
It was
Except it wasn't fun.
Yeah.
Well, when I rode in 12 and I was on my bike, I decided that after riding behind Dean for a while on the 23, that was not going to happen anymore. I was covered in oil, and I'm like, okay, I'm done. I'm done. Find another caboose.
Better to be in the front.
Yes, definitely. Let's lead, not follow.
Let's roll through a few more photos because I know we do have a gas stop photo with all of you in it as well coming up. But got a few more shots here.
Yeah, it was fun.
Yeah.
Oh, look at that! You don't look like a little boy.
Are you born and raised in New Jersey? Are you a Jersey gal?
No. I was born in Australia. Can't you tell by my accent?
I never knew that.
No, I was born in Australia. My parents brought me here when I was only 3 months old, so hence no accent whatsoever. And we went to Michigan, and from Michigan I moved to New Jersey where I met Scott. Then Scott and I moved to California for 20 years, and now we live in very cold, wintry South Dakota. Don't come.
You love the snow. You love the snow. I remember you trying to get Scott out there. It's an awesome place.
Yeah.
It's beautiful. It really is. You live near Spearfish somewhere, and it's this gorgeous area,
Yes.
Well, from California to Deadwood in the winter. These
yes,
next
exactly.
photos of you riding, they also, makes me wonder, how do you like being in these wide open Western scenes? Because Deadwood, you're in the mountains. Certainly you got surrounded by pine trees. You're certainly not far from the Badlands and the wide open areas. How do you enjoy that kind of landscape?
Well, if it was a choice between wide open spaces and concrete jungle, I think I'm going to stay where I am. And I loved it. Again, there's people, especially nowadays, we don't give ourselves enough time to just be alone. And it gives you that opportunity. That's the beauty of riding, pretty much, is that solitude. That's why I don't understand when people ride with headphones and listening to music all the time. You can do that anywhere. Do that in the car. But if you're out and the wind's blowing in your hair and you just have nothing obstructing your view, just enjoy the solitude.
Mm-hmm.
So
I agree. That's why a lot of reasons why we do it is to get out there and let everything blow up those cobwebs, like you said,
Yeah, exactly.
But the Cannonball, you're blowing up more than cobwebs.
That's true. Oil, mothballs. I don't know.
Yeah. We had fun though. We had so many
There's something
times.
about, you don't want to get too old and start riding without like jackets and stuff on.
No,
Especially
you and
if you're
I,
a
we
woman.
always cover up. We do that. We don't. Mike's always get rid of the helmet. No, not for, just for the pictures. But yeah,
Well, I didn't take the next photo. Then you could tell that, right, with everybody all bundled up in the gas station. But it's a nice shot somebody took of your whole team there.
Oh, I think that's one of our pictures, Sharon.
That's awesome. Yeah. Hey, there's that neon pink.
There it is.
See? That's why it was the beacon. Oh my God. I remember saying that to one of the guys, like, hey, dude, back off, man. He was giving me a hard time about it. And I'm like, I'm the one that they're going to hit first. So you should be thanking me.
Do you notice how Dean looks so small in the background? Oh my God, Dean is
Yeah.
huge. He's like 6'8". Okay.
But he's
Oh my
40 feet
God.
back in that shot. That's
Yeah,
why.
he's
That's
fine.
funny. Well, Swede must have been taking the picture
Yeah,
because
there
he
you
would
go.
be towering over
That's
Dean,
great.
right? Yeah,
Yeah.
that was fun. I miss that. And
Yeah,
there's a little piece of me that I hate to say was a little excited or a little happy about not having the Cannonball this year, because I'm hoping that, are they going to do it next year? Or are they going to stick to the every two?
No, they're
I mean,
going
is
next
it
year.
gonna-
It'll be in September.
are?
You guys riding next year? You signed
Well,
up?
I would love
2021.
to. And I told Scott, well, I actually had talked to Jason and had asked him about the year of the bike. And he basically said that I did not have a bike. I didn't have 3 bikes that would qualify. So I told Scott we'd pull Sydney down, which is his 26, and we'd take the 215s and the 26. Scott's like, you're not taking her down.
Okay. Okay, I'll
but-
bring it up now. I was going to wait till the end of the show, but no one has done a mother-daughter team on Cannonball.
I know. Do
And
you not know
I
my
always
name?
thought that you guys were going to do that, you and the girls. So
That's what I would like to do. Yes.
Yeah.
I have a name. Did I tell
For
you?
the team? What's that?
Yes. Okay, so 3 girls. Team Cannonball Less.
Oh yeah, we were.
Well,
Yeah.
very good. Well, I want to be there to take pictures. I know I got some awesome pictures of the 3 of you in the Redwoods in 2012. I'm sorry I didn't put any on the show today because
Oh, yeah, the girls
you
are-
weren't on the old bikes. That's on the sports.
No.
The girls are on their
No.
bikes. But
This is the
boy,
girls'
that was
ride.
beautiful. Riding through the Redwoods right up until we got to the coast, and all of a sudden you opened up and saw that ocean.
Oh,
That was
That's
beautiful.
beautiful.
gorgeous.
Yeah.
What memories. I know. I
Yeah.
have some of those. That was my screensaver for a long time. That
Mhm.
kind of coming over. We all kind of pulled our bikes down. Who was I with? Oh, it was just so awesome. Yeah.
It was.
Yeah.
Seriously,
Well, when you-
trial and tribulations, but you certainly learn a lot.
Yeah. When you come out of, I think it's Crescent City, when you come out of the woods,
Mm.
and then there's the beach, there's
Yeah, I
the
think that-
Pacific Ocean. Yeah. I wasn't riding on that when I was on the sweep truck helping out the
Yeah,
glamour.
I remember.
These next photos kind of give you a sense of really how far you had to go to get to that Pacific Ocean. That's out there, doesn't it? I mean, it's like, wow.
Oh,
Yeah.
You put some miles on.
That's
No
a real
kidding.
back road there.
That was
Yeah.
just over 4,000 mile trek, right? From Daytona to Tacoma.
I think
Yeah.
we did
So-
3,391 is what you did.
391? Was it?
Three
I thought it was
mile.
over 4.
did-
Because it was.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe because we missed a few days, Sharon.
We went the,
all the
the
miles.
wrong
That's
way.
why. Yeah, yeah.
That's
Ne-
true.
Next shot here, did you run out of gas, or did that happen many times on the Cannonball? Where you had
On
to fill
day
up? I know
2.
you had a spare tank
Yes.
on you.
Yes, I had everybody's spare tank on me. I remember Jim Petty driving up next to me, and I thought my bike was doing it again. And I'm like, what is happening? And then we realized that because I had my 70s in and the gas was just flooding over them, and I was just constantly running. I mean, oh my God, that second day, first my piston seize on the first day. Second day, my handbrake falls off, my linkage goes out. So first I lose first gear, then I lose second gear, then my piston seized again. And then what was it? When did my valve? No, that was it. Like on day 2, the valve froze. I think it was Doug that discovered it. And he's like, you're running on 1 cylinder. No wonder you can't kick this thing over. And I would just run down a hill and bump it myself and get it going. And off I went. But
Wow.
I remember him pulling up next to me. Does this sound like him? Hey, darling, need any
Oh
help?
yeah. Hey, darling.
Yeah, that sounds
Hey,
like
darling.
it. There's Doug. Around the world
Yep.
back.
For sure.
It's a nice
Yep.
team photo coming up here with all of you in it.
Yeah. There's it, Sharon in that pink
Yeah.
suit.
Oh, yeah.
You know,
See, I'm easy to identify. Find the
there you go.
beacon.
And we're
That's
all
awesome.
running in this shot. That's Pat and you and I and Scott.
Yep.
Is Dean in there?
Oh no, who
I
that
don't know,
was?
because
No, I
sometimes
can't
Dean
tell.
was being a class 1, he may have been different.
Oh, that might have been Buzz and
Oh.
Oz because I see the windshields. They had those windshields that pull up. You know,
Oh, yeah.
That's
yeah.
true.
Buzz and
I
Oz.
can't
Yeah.
tell. Can't see it.
Yep.
Don't have my glasses
Very
on.
cool.
It is. It's Buzz and Oz.
So Cannonballettes, I like that.
Cannonball.
So we're
Yes.
Cannonball.
Yes.
No, Cannonball less.
Less.
Not Ets.
Well, less.
Not Eds.
No balls,
Less.
get it?
LESS.
Oh, my
Cannonball,
goodness.
less.
Hey, I got it right away.
I didn't. I'm not hearing so good. Holy crap!
Okay. I love
That's
this
why
next
you're a
shot.
little hesitant there. I'm sorry, I missed that one the first time out.
This next shot is one of my favorites. Of you and Scott by the barn. Oh my God. I think you
Oh,
have
I
this
have
frame.
that.
You need to get this.
I do. Yes. Yep.
I'm surprised Scott hasn't painted this one yet.
No
Oh,
kidding.
yeah.
That was awesome.
Awesome. Yeah.
I know. I love that shot. I have that. Actually, I have that shot framed. Where is it? I think it's
You only have
in the
300
it's in my
pieces of
carriage.
art
Yeah,
there.
exactly. Let me see. I have two of them though. And one is in the gallery, so it's
Wow.
down there.
That's awesome.
Awesome.
You have the
Maybe-
most beautiful bikes. I must say, your bikes are gorgeous, and they're on display in your gallery in Deadwood.
Yes.
Correct?
Yes. Yes. Plus a new one.
that gallery
That
is
says,
gorgeous.
"Oh, I forgot to tell you that we bought a new bike." I don't even know what he bought. I think it's a knuckle.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah, it's a red knuckle. I saw it because he's
Yeah, yeah,
he's painting it.
that's the
Maybe
one.
it's a secret. Scott's
Oh yeah,
painting a
no,
knucklehead.
it's next to Frankie. Frankie's down there just chilling with his new friend. So
See, we always
Yeah.
name our bikes. I know she's talking
Yeah.
about Frankie. It's her
Yeah.
36. It's Frankie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
yeah,
Awesome.
And the next shot is the Team Vino. Oh no, there's another one in between
We
there.
got one more riding shot.
Riding shot. Oh yeah,
to show
Nice.
proof that I actually did it.
you did.
I know. Yep, that's me.
Yep.
That's funny.
I
And
have
my
to say,
riding
you are,
number.
you're one of the best riders that I've ridden with, really, Sharon. I have to say, riding with you and Scott too, you know, Pitt, whatever, but riding with you and Scott in the mountains of Colorado, that one day we were in these really twisty, really narrow roads with no guardrails, and you guys are just like, wee, you know, it's like, oh my God, I can't look down, you know? But you
Yeah.
are you are a really great rider, and you're fun to ride with. And like I said, and you're really mechanical. And when something screws up, you know, you're not afraid to get in there and figure out what is it. Let's fix it,
Mm-mm.
you know. And
Nope.
I love that about you. So
Thank
Yeah.
you. You too. Yeah, it's fun.
How often do you get on a new bike? Do you ride with Scott on new bikes sometimes, or not too much?
You know, I hate to say that, especially now with the new place, but I mean, even with the gallery, we're so busy in the summer when you can ride here because, you know, you have 9 months of winter. Don't come. So am I getting my point across? Anyway.
Loud and clear.
So
We're getting.
anyway, I honestly don't even remember the last time I rode. It's kind of sad. And we were going to go riding. A friend of ours is actually here from California, and he took both of our bikes out, the newer bikes, and cleaned everything up, made them all spiffy. He said he even drained out the gas and put some fresh gas in, which is probably a good thing. And I'm
Wow.
really hoping that we can do that. You know, our team is coming together. I have the best people in my gallery. I swear to God, they're amazing. And it's so comforting to know that it's kind of weird, but not needed, you know, and so that's
Well,
really
there you
awesome.
go.
And now we're developing already this amazing team at the brew house. And
Nice.
so I know that soon, you know, I feel like I can maybe work 14 hours a day.
Well, we start thinking about Cannonball. You get the team back
Yeah, I
together again,
know.
or the new team.
That we could do honeymooners. There you go.
Yeah,
we
we
didn't
did
get
honeymooners
very
in
far on that
2016.
one.
Are Olivia and Alexa both working in the gallery?
Well, both, yes. Alexa's still painting, doing phenomenal. And she just took over being the bar manager at the brew house, which,
Wow.
you know, again, Mama Bear, and I'm so proud. There she is, my big girl. Hate that picture.
Yeah.
Anyway, so there she is, just doing awesome. And then Olivia, of course, continues to basically do a lot of everything. Her, you know, anytime, any technical stuff, I can't even tell you everything that Olivia does. And she's also doing photography.
Oh, I love
And
her
she's
work. I just
doing
told
very
her, yeah,
well.
She's
Yeah. It's her
Yep.
stuff. I mean, we're selling this week alone. I know we sold both of each of their pictures, and
oh,
they're
great.
doing just so good. It's
Well,
it's good. So it's definitely, when you say family business, we are an epitome of that. I mean, my nephew's here, and when we did our first couple nights at the brew house for like soft openings, we wanted to make sure, you know, you've got to get some of your glitches out. So I did family night, and I invited my gallery staff, and I remember them going, well, I thought this was family night. I'm like, well, you guys are family. So, you know, you just develop this, and then you also have blood, and I'm very blessed. So life is wonderful.
Well, I was happy that we got to meet and got to be friends all these years ago, even though it's not that long ago. It's been about 10 years for us now.
I was going to say at least 10, right? I know.
Yeah, I think maybe before that, but yeah.
Well, we know Scott certainly from Forbes.
It is before
What
that.
year was that? 1987?
Oh my God.
At Forbes, right?
87?
That was 87.
I think
Yeah.
so,
Yeah, I've known you forever. Sorry.
You don't change. You look the same.
Oh God. Yeah.
You do. You look awesome. Anyway,
Thank you.
just thank you for being here and coming on our show and hanging out with us.
Thanks for asking. I'm glad I had my techie daughter help make sure everything got set up.
Yes, thank you, Olivia. We
Yeah.
love you guys.
Olivia, yeah.
Oh,
this
there we
is
go.
truly the end, I guess, right?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that was Tacoma.
Yeah.
That was very
Man,
cool. Must have been a great
was-
feeling right there, huh?
It was. I will never ever be able to fully explain that feeling.
Wow.
I mean, like I said, on so many levels of personal ups and downs. And Chris, I remember you saying, and everybody, the night that they had my brother's service, which was the day before the end of Cannonball, and you said, you're here with family. And everybody came, just showed up at our tent after the riding that day. And oh my God, I'm not going to go into it because I will start crying, but it was just so huge. And people that didn't even know me still showed up to pay respects, just to be there. And it's,
Well,
you
we
will
love you
never
guys.
know it unless you know it. You know, you'll just, it's worth putting on the bucket list. Even if you don't know you want to do it now, just put it on there anyway.
That's right. Go for it.
Yeah. You only live once.
Well, thanks for coming. And I don't know when. I know Mike's going out to Sturgis.
Yeah.
If you pulled the camera back and saw what this place looks like, it's a disaster. My goodness, 'cause we're taking the whole studio up there, of course, to shoot all the bikes that are in the exhibition, in the heavy metal exhibition. So we got 36, 37 bikes to shoot in the studio.
Sharon,
Got a little work ahead.
There you are. I thought you went away. I wasn't ready for you to go.
Oh, no, I'm still here.
Yeah, Mike's going out to Sturgis. He's going to do his show. He's been working so hard. He didn't dump my show yet. He didn't dump me. He's still hanging out here with me. So
I'm going to do the next one from Sturgis.
Neat.
Yeah, the next show we're going to do next week, we're going to be, I'm going to be here in Maui because I'm not going to Sturgis this year. But Mike will be out there, and we're going to do a show on, I think should we tell him what we're going to do next week, Mike?
Yeah, why not? It's a good show.
Yeah, we're going to do, go ahead, you can tell him.
Well, I was just saying, you brought up mothers and daughters, so take it away.
Yeah, we're kind of into mother and daughter thing. I don't know. Laura Clock is a wonderful friend of mine, again, from my Cannonball team and from other things that I met Laura from, the Salt. And we're going to have Laura on and her two amazing daughters, Carly and Erica, and they're going to talk about all the things they did on the Salt and kind of maybe what they're doing now, and just again look at pictures and tell some stories.
That's so awesome.
Yeah.
Another subject.
Hey, can I give another plug? Can I give a plug? Farm Life Cheese, Laura Clock.
Oh yeah, Laura Clock makes cheese.
Oh my God,
We'll
it's so good.
Next week.
Ask her. I don't even know how many orders I've already had to refill for the brew house and grocer. So,
really?
Yes, Laura
Wow.
knocks it out of the park, and the girls are awesome, and the babies are so cute. Oh my gosh.
I know we're both like these Cannonball grandmas
Yeah,
now, but
there it
Laura's
is.
making this cheese. We're going to talk about it next week. And I can't, maybe we'll have to get some, have a little cheese thing while we're doing
there
it.
you
But
go.
she
So
actually
good.
made cheese today. I talked to her today. She was making cheese. So anyway.
Just tell me one thing. What kind of cheese? You keep saying cheese. What kind of cheese?
Everything. She does cheese curds and wedges. She even makes her own Gruyere. She's got a coffee spread, a coffee cheese, Sorry, Laura, I'm totally plugging it. Yeah, the cheese
Oh my
curds,
God.
whiskey, a chipotle apple. Oh, the garlic rosemary is outstanding. It's
Wow.
delicious, absolutely delicious. So go buy some cheese, people. It's really good. Yep.
I'm going to order some tonight.
Yeah, it's good.
All right.
It's good.
Well, thank you guys.
Cool.
Thank you, Sharon, so much. We'll be in touch. And
All right,
Mike,
guys.
thanks
Thank
again.
you.
And we'll talk to you guys soon. Signing off,
Okay.
time to saddle up, as my dad says. Catch us next week. That little horse. Yeah, I knew he was going to get that out. Remember to help us get this program out there by hitting the like and share button. Be kind to each other. Get out for a ride if you can. Be nice. Don't be an asshole. And have fun. All right.
We'll see you all next week. Chris,
All
thank
right.
you. Sharon, thank you.
Thanks, you guys. Bye.
See ya.